Hello, welcome aboard the Tech Genius XY. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell for your passport to programming in English and Hausa. Thank you for joining us in this presentation. So as we know, we have covered in our previous session, we have covered int data type and string data type. So in this presentation, we are going to check our level of progress by building some simple Python tags using int data type and string data type with some basics Python method. So that is all we are going to cover in this video. So without wasting time, let's jump into our discussion. So the first task, which is simple task A here, as you can see from the comments, the message printer. So this we are going to build a simple program that is going to print out our message. So we are going to get user input. What is user input? User input is telling you are not going to pass the value. It's someone else that is going to pass the value. So your program will accept the value during the runtime. So the value will be passed by a client or somebody. It could be anyone that is using your program. So that is simply what is happening here. So and we are storing that in a variable called choice. So by default, you have to know inputs. If you call input function, this input, if you call it, it's string data type by default. So if you pass a number here, that means you must typecast it or convert it to int data type, and we know how to do that. So that is all about input. So we just accept value from user with this function. It could be any data type you want, just use input to accept that from user. Then you know if it is string, it's fine. If it is data, if it is int, you have to convert. If it is float, you have to convert. If it is whatever you want, so you have to do that. And you can pass a little description of what you want the user to enter. So in this case, we are telling the user should enter this login or logout. Then we leave a space where we can accept that login or logout. That is all. So if you print this, if you run this, this is what is going to display for the user. So here, so the output is displaying here. We should enter the login for a friendly or logout for a goodbye. So I'm going to enter logouts first. So I will press enter. So as you can see, it displayed the message. Where is the message? This is the message for logout. So logout is a key and this is the value. So by calling in our print function, we want to print the message. We call the dictionary, which is message dot the get method. We pass the get method, then we pass the user choice. This is the user choice which we are storing what the user entered. So we are going to compare this in our dictionary. We are looking through this dictionary and checking if the user enter any one of these key. So if it is login, it's going to display this. If it is logout, it's going to display this. So that is all. If it is anything that is not within this, then we have an error message here. So this will tell the user invalid choice. So let's test run and see. Let me enter ball here. Invalid choice, just as we expected. So I'm going to comment this out because we are done with this simple message printer. We are going to run the second program from here, which is simple addition from user input. So we are going to ask user to enter numbers, and we are going to add those numbers, perform some little bit of math. So in this case, as I said, we are getting the inputs from user using this inputs function. We tell the user what to enter, because without giving the user description, there's no way he will know what to put there. It could be anything. So we store that in our num1. The same thing in num2. We are accepting two variables. So this is the math that we are doing. We are performing simple addition. It could be anything. It could be you are comparing if it is the same thing, whatever you want to do. And we are printing. In this type of printing, we are using two types of print function. We are using the f string and we are using the percent operator. So for this one, we have explained this several times in our video. You can go back and check, and this is the other way to print this out. So let's accept the values from the user. So the first integer is going to be 2. Let's enter 2, should be our first integer. Yes. Then the second integer should be 2 again. Then we press enter. So the sum of 2 and 2 is 4. That is the first printer, the print function. Then the second one, the sum of num1 2 and num2 2 is 4. So it's the same thing. So I believe this is self-explanatory. So I'm going to comment this out. We are done with this. Let's go to the second task, which is task C. So in this task, we want to convert. We are going to accept number, but we are going to, okay, we stop here. It's a very short program. We are going to accept int data type and we convert it to string, and we output the string with string, but the other string is going to be number string. So we've explained this. So in this case, we are just concatenate. We want to concatenate the string and integer, but we must convert the integer to string. So we accept the input. By default is a string data type. If anything that is passed here, we have to convert it or typecast it with this int. So we change it to integer using this. So with this function, we are storing that in our number here. So and we declare another new variable. We want to convert this number to string, which is, we call this str string, and we pass what we want to convert, which is the user input num. Then we save the results here. We write your integer as a string is this is a string. We want to concatenate. We are concatenating it. We are adding it with another string but number. The string is a number here because we've converted the user input from string to from integer to string, and we output it here. So let's run this program. So I'm going to enter 100 in the user input. So I'll put 100. So you see your integer as a string 100. So simple. That is all about this. We are going to comment this out so that we can run the last program, which is very similar to the first one. So I've explained how you can comment and uncomment in different videos. So in this case, we are accepting integer here. By default, it's going to be string. We convert it to int. Then we look for the square of that number. We store it in a square. Then we convert that to string, the number and the square of the number, we convert them to string. Then we print them out using any different method we want. Then we run it. So in this case, I'm going to pass 3. We know 3 times 3 is going to be 9. That is the square. So then we have the square of your integer is 9, but it's a string. So that is all. We have come to the end of this presentation. Thank you for joining us.